momento ha llegado la presentación del parche 2.4 del Honkai Star Rail y nada, comienza ahora en 2 minutitos, por lo que se esperan un par de nuevos personajes, Vuelta al Luofu de Xianzhu, creo que era, y 5 de marzo, 5 estrellas. Veamos qué trae. Comienza ya, comienza ya. PC.
Long story short, work pressure is really starting to wear me down.
No puedo
Got
hacer
any
los
medicinal
subtítulos
recommendations,
porque,
Mr.
hostia,
Jocho?
en serio.
I have just the thing, Mr. Albert.
¿Serio?
Take 2 mace of
Hoyoverse.
heavenwood pepper, 3 tails of 7-star chili, and half a caddy of millet pepper. Remove the seeds and grind together with a splash of prickly ash cooking wine. Apply the mixture evenly and rinse after 20 minutes. Finally, apply a layer of starch, which will induce a detoxifying sweat. Good for the mind and the soul.
Dr. Jocho, Albert's not the only one exhausted around here. I should detoxify too.
Well, Miss Yun Li, start out by blanching some ingredients in a
Los nuevos
premium
personajes.
broth, but make sure it utilizes plenty of premium dried chilies.
I see digestion issues on the horizon. Some coriander should help with that.
Stay your hand! Return that evil herb at once! Unthinkable.
Ay.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories.
Ya
You
Luofu.
know?
There you are! Everyone, this way!
The Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary Combat Art Ceremony. Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Why are there Boris in here?
Right on time. Hello there. Hey, old metal. Which
Wow.
one do you want to stretch? Oh, all of
Una
them?
Claymore.
Rock-shattering slash!
Hola, la verdad.
Look at how hard I've been
Ah,
training.
la nueva skin, la nueva marzo.
I could take
La
10
nueva
of
marzo, cómo mola. Cómo mola.
The shackling prison on the Luofu is completely different from the one on the Yaoqing. It's completely underwater.
Ya no-
Wherever crowds gather, there is always an undercurrent beneath the surface. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
My first meal after regaining my freedom is the flesh and blood of my fellow kindred.
My condolences, Miss Hanya.
Memories of chasing, gnawing, and tearing. They've all come back.
If this is what they want, I'm always up for a challenge.
Wow. Wow, esta, Dios mío. Me ha encantado. Mi primer código.
Woo! And whether or not your world has a day-night cycle.
Xianzhou Ming delegate. Present.
Xianzhou Yaoqing delegate, present.
Xianzhou Luofu delegate present.
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
And
good evening.
And to
Nice.
all our viewers far and wide, welcome to the version 2.4 finest duel under the pristine blue special program. As always, your avian buddy Albert's here to guide you through.
Hi, everyone. I'm Yun Li, a sword master from the Juming.
And I'm Jiaoqiu. I may have the appearance of a chef, but I'm actually a healer.
Greetings, everyone. It's been a while. I trust you're well.
A pleasure to have you three in the studio. Now, the
Nice.
Benekune vacation has drawn to a close, and the crew of the Astral Express is bound for a familiar destination, the Xianzhou Luofu, which is precisely why this program has invited Xianzhou friends, old and new, to welcome trailblazers back to an old stomping ground. Speaking of which, General Genuine, isn't this your first time on the special program?
It is indeed, Mr. Albert, and I am deeply honored. Had I known of your program's culinary delights, I would never have delayed.
Bon appetit, General. I hate to do so, but our catering costs for this episode were kind of spicy. If you'd like to leave a tip, we'd be extremely...
Wait a minute. What's this hot pot got to do with you anyway? Didn't the pink-haired fox prepare it?
Well, I'm a hot pot enthusiast, after all. Where I go, the spice follows. Your illustrious presence is payment enough, dear friends. Dinner's on me.
What a gentleman! Your delicious morality will not be forgotten, good sir!
Let's cut to the chase already. Why are we here anyway?
It's like this. I assume you all received an invitation from the Seat of Divine Foresight, welcoming you to the Luminary War Dance?
Yep, it's a martial arts ceremony. Competitors battle it out in a flash of swords, all for the title of Sword Champion.
As a matter of fact, the War Dance is a festival commemorating the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knight's triumphant resistance against the abominations of abundance. As you know, the Luofu's Ambrosial Arbor crisis was only recently resolved. Now is the time to regroup and raise our spirits, which is why we have chosen this moment to convene the War Dance. It is also for this reason that the title of Sword Champion will not be decided in this ceremony.
It won't? I fear Master Yenqing will be bitterly disappointed.
Fear not, Mr. Jiao Cho. This war dance isn't only a morale boost. It's also an invitation to allies and friends, a display of peace, and an important duty for the Cloud Knights. That's why Yenqing has taken it upon himself to accompany the Trailblazers for the duration.
Exactly right. In the version 2.4 Trailblaze Continuance mission, Finest Duel under the Pristine Blue One, Trailblazers will witness Yenqing's assiduous side and his new identity.
I get it. One person, not enough. You need our help, right?
Such a distinguished occasion surely merits the attendance of other esteemed guests.
Of course! This Jianzhou Yaoqing delegation will be led by none other than the Merlin's Claw, General Fei Xiao. At her side will be two senior advisors, Jiao Cho,
Vale, la misión
the
se vuelta a
Jiao Cho,
Luofu, lo que he dicho
as
antes.
well as Moza.
And as for the Xianzhou Juming, me and Grandpa, General Huaiyan, the famous Flaming Heart, will be representatives.
Be they friends from near or far, we will welcome them with open arms. This promises to be quite the war dance.
I don't want to lower your spirits, but I heard that the Trailblazers' arrival doesn't always coincide with a happy... I mean, wasn't everyone fighting in the trailer?
3 Arbiter Generals in the same place at the same time? Not a good sign.
That's not all. Rumors are circulating through the Alliance that General Jingyuan's conduct during the Ambrosial Arbor crisis may have violated certain laws of the land. Could it really be that...
Oh boy, I knew where we'd get out. It's true that the other 2 generals will arrive on the Luofu with a certain assignment. If you want to know the details, then ready yourself for the upcoming Trailblaze continuance story.
Let us refrain from needless anxiety. The Luofu will ensure a spectacular war dance.
Right, geez, let's
Sí,
lighten the
venga,
mood.
vamos.
I want to talk about my legendary new Swordmaster apprentice. She's been getting a lot of attention. She gets her own intro, right?
March 7th? Of course! With the war dance right around the corner, March couldn't help herself. She set out on her own martial arts journey. Stay tuned. We've got more intel on that coming up on the program. Which reminds me, the war dance ceremony is set to span versions 2.4 and 2.5. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be in the past, but the Trailblazers will continue to be important witnesses to the Xianzhou Luofu's ongoing story.
This separation has been difficult. We've missed the Trailblazers dearly. Here's hoping the Xianzhou Luofu can bring everyone new and exciting experiences.
It
Ah, the broth is ready. Shall we add any extra seasonings?
Add 'em all! We gotta make the most of the occasion. It's not every day we get to catch up with the Xianzhou pals. Ooh, and speaking of pals,
A ver,
Version
los nuevos
2.4 will
personajes.
be
Ahora yo creo que
introducing
ya
a
toca algo.
brand new map, the Shackling Prison.
These pals of
A la
yours,
nueva zona.
they're all in
Antes de la
prison?
nueva zona.
Not all of them, not in the traditional sense. The Shackling Prison is under the Ten Lords Commission Administration. It's where Shui Yi and Hanya work.
The shackling prison is where we detain criminals. Its cold and forbidding entrance is located below the waters of Scale Gorge waterscape.
Huh?
La prisión.
That does look creepy.
An individual must first stand trial before being escorted to their cell. For those guilty of particularly heinous crimes, we reserve special cells of biting cold or searing heat. The interrogations of Blade and Locha were conducted in just such a place.
Doesn't sound like an easy place to spring a prison break.
You can say that again. The Ten Lords Commission keeps a watchful eye, and the routes to the cells are tangled webs filled with carefully designed mechanisms. Those seeking access must first overcome innumerable tests of fortitude.
It would appear the shackling prison is the haunt of wolf-like monsters. Borison?
That's right. The Borison are ruthless beyond measure,
Ay.
infamous for their inborn moon rage. Upon entering battle, the Borison share stacks of bloodlust. When bloodlust reaches a certain number of stacks, they enter the moon rage state, become enhanced.
Y ese bufo hará que
Watch
haga
your step,
más daño,
Trailblazers.
What
seguramente.
happened to
O
catching up
cambien de
with
forma o algo
pals?
así.
I'm sure Shui Yi and Hanya would love you to go and express your sympathies. Anyway, with the new map out of the way, it's time we talked about our new friends from the Zhuming and the Yaoqing. Starting with a gifted young girl, Yoon Lee.
A ver, el nuevo personaje, Yun-Li. Será 4 estrellas, yo creo, esta. Lanza la Claymore. Destrucción Piro.
I'm from the Xianzhou Juming, a
Oh,
ship
no,
known for its unrivaled
físico.
craftsmanship. As the records show,
Ah, no, 5
some
estrellas.
60 or 70% of all the Xianzhou's armory comes from the artisans of the Juming. Ever since I was little, I've studied sword mastery and weapons forging with my grandpa. I mean, the Flaming Heart, Hua Yan.
Ay.
Grandpa's always been nice to me. He loves me, you know?
Miss Yoon Lee is a talented young lady fascinated with swords. She sees renowned swords as treasures. Some say she can even communicate with them directly. To her, swords are more honest than people. She lives by the phrase, swords make acquaintances, fighting makes friends.
Oh? It so happens that on the Luofu there is an able young man with a similar love of the sword. I have a feeling you two might get along.
You mean Yanqing? He doesn't know the first thing about swords. He collects them like they're going out of fashion, then never uses them. I can hear those blades crying from here.
Seems like you guys don't share everything in common.
Mm-hmm. And not to mention, see the giant sword I use? Forged him myself. He might not be complete, but he's already stronger than anything out there.
Weapons of this caliber usually get their own name. What do you call them?
Pensaba
Not
que era 4
bad
estrellas, pero no es
feathers.
5.
Finally, someone who understands swords. I
Pensaba que
gave him
sería
a
esta
unique name for
4.
the
El
ages.
tío este
Oh,
5
metal.
y marzo 5.
It has a ring
Pero para hacer
about
no
it.
es así.
I like it too.
Me and Old Metal have a deep connection. Every time I get into a scrap, I ask Old Metal, which one do you want to strike? Old Metal usually says something like, let's start here and end there. To which I reply, oh, all of them? All right.
Old Metal's adorable manner belies his formidable stature.
Yunli might be young, but she's confident and unafraid to speak her mind. It's time we took a look at her skills on the battlefield.
As a physical type character following the path of destruction, gentle
Físico, pensaba que
persuasion
era fuego.
isn't really my style. When using
Pero
my
nada, a
skill,
ver.
I restore my own HP while dealing physical damage to a single target and adjacent enemies.
What really sets Yunli apart in combat is the way
Mantiene algo
she
de
counters the
AOE,
enemy.
daño
When attacked,
físico.
she immediately launches a counter on the attacker, dealing damage to the target and adjacent enemies.
Vale,
Bears
si
a
usa
grudge
la habilidad
and
y
knows
después
friend from
atacan,
foe.
hace
She doesn't mess
un
around.
contraataque.
You gotta use the enemy's strength against them. After using my ultimate, I acquire the parry state, which allows me to sustain lower damage and taunt all enemies. In addition, my ordinary counter is upgraded to powerful counter, which deals higher damage.
You seem well versed in the art of the counter. One assumes that surprise attacks during exploration aren't a concern for you?
Nope. When using my technique, I obtain a special effect for a set duration. If an enemy launches an attack during that duration, the attack is blocked. And upon entering battle, I launch a powerful counter on a random enemy.
Imagine you've hardly regained your footing when a girl with a giant blade comes running straight for you. Which reminds me, in version 2.4, Trailblazers will experience the Swords to Plowshares companion mission. Granddad and granddaughter arrive on the Luofu from the Zhuming, bringing with them a prize
Es
much
una misión
sought
que yo no he
after
hecho ni una
among
misión de
the war dance
compañero.
competitors. Wait,
O solo he
press
hecho
something else
una, la
too?
de...
Let's see.
Esta.
Let's save that for another time,
No,
shall
esta
we?
de-
Now
Wukong,
remember, Albert,
Wukong.
the prize is for the War Dance champion, not the host.
So if Yun Li is also set to compete, and were she to prevail, then wouldn't the prize return home with her to the Zhuming?
Not so fast now. The Luofu has something to say about that. The Zhuming may have brought the prize, but they ain't leaving with it.
Watch us.
Easy now. External heat needs inner cooling, as they say.
Sounds like another difficult challenge for Yang Jing.
Why you guys sound so right? Let's move on to another new character, shall we? Hailing from the Yao Jing and soon to be making his appearance, it's military healer Zhao Chou!
A ver cómo es este pavo. Dando en comida. Y furro.
The Yao Qing's illustrious healer.
Otro... Este,
I've heard
es
much
el premio de
about you.
vigialidad,
Too
hombre.
kind, General. My
Es el
visit to
primer
the
vigial
Luofu
hombre,
is
puede
only
ser.
in aid of keeping a promise.
You owe someone a tasty meal?
Well, taste is secondary to nutrition, Miss Yunli.
I'm curious, Mr. Zhao Chou. Under what circumstances would you usually open your eyes? Forgive me, but, your beef is overcooked.
Well, seems like culinary emergencies are pretty eye-opening.
Ah, no,
But I
Vuelta.
digress.
Vuelta y Luca.
Mr. Zhao Chou, why don't you
También había
introduce
Vuelta y
yourself
Luca
a
y
bit more?
Sampo.
Well, I am employed as a
No sé por
military
qué.
healer to the
Ah,
Yao
no, me leo
Qing's General
con-
Fei Xiao. You could consider me one of her
Me había liado
retainers.
con...
I'm accompanying the
con
general to the
Cuántico.
Xianzhou Luofu for this war
Me había liado
dance
con
ceremony.
Cuántico.
So,
Me había liado con
what's
Cuántico.
with all the broths and ingredients then?
Well, you see, Miss Yun Li, I believe in culinary medicine. The notion that we are what we eat. The arts of cooking and healing are one and the same. Which is why I spend so much time delving into the spicy miracles of medicinal cuisine.
A meal is not simply a merry occasion, but an opportunity for
Ay.
food to work quiet wonders for our biological systems. Isn't that beautiful?
Why bother dividing the pot into 9 sections if you're gonna eat from all of them?
I am a self-confessed chowhound, Miss Yun Li. I eat, and then I leave.
Oh, you ain't going anywhere yet, Doctor. Delicacies aside, let's talk some more about that healing of yours. Before you came under General Fei Xiao's command, you were well known in the Xianzhou Yaoqing's Alchemy Commission. You went on to cut your teeth as a military healer with the Cloud Knights on campaigns for the hunt. I heard you decided to retire, only returning to service at the personal request of the Cauldron Master.
Some people prefer work to leisure, I suppose.
Well, I am fortunate enough to be respected for my craft. Some even go so far as to deem me a miracle cure.
As General Fei Xiao's strategist, Zhao Chou applies his taste for spice to battlefield tactics. Combat is a bubbling broth, with each side occupying one half of Yuanyang Hot Pot.
Indeed. Battles are marked by myriad changes, constantly evolving in a dance of yin and yang.
Dios mío.
Well said, General.
They say foxes are cunning creatures. Seems like Mr. Zhao Chou is no exception. I think it's time we took a look at what our delicious doctor can do on the battlefield.
Well, about time. I am a fire-type character on the path of nihility. When using my technique during exploration, I create a special dimension. After entering battle with an enemy within the dimension, I inflict them with fire damage. And there's a possibility of following up with a stack of Ashen Roast debuff.
So, we're cooking the enemy alive?
Ashen Roast turns up the heat by causing enemies to sustain greater damage. Any attack that Zhao Chou lands on an enemy has a chance of inflicting Ashen Roast.
Indeed. Case in point, if I were to use my skill to deal blast damage, there would be a chance of simultaneously inflicting a stack of Ashen Roast on the target.
Did you just throw spices into the battlefield?
Sharp eyes, General. After launching my ultimate, the battlefield becomes an enormous Yuanyang hot pot. The enemies are trapped in a searing broth, which inflicts damage on each and every one of them. At the same time, the effects of Ashen Roast are compounded for enemies inflicted with the debuff, in line with the current highest number of stacks. Immediately after, a field appears, which lasts for a set number of turns.
Whew, all these hot pop visuals are making me hungry again. What does this field do exactly?
Enemies within the field sustain greater ultimate damage. And during their action, there is a chance they will be inflicted by a stack of Ashen Roast.
Oh, it would follow that if, for example, Acheron were on the team, you would be able to help her acquire ultimate charges more quickly.
Absolutely right.
Nice of you to invite the enemy to dinner before showing them the door.
The last meal they'll ever experience. Word of advice? Order out next time, fellas. Well, we've gotten to know new friends from both the Zhuming and the Yaoqing. Let's turn our gaze to the version 2.4 banner info. In version 2.4's first half warp event, Trailblazers can acquire the limited 5-star character Yoon Lee, as well as the limited 5-star character Hua Hua. The limited 5-star light cones, Dance at Sunset, and Night of Fright will be boosted.
A cat is a human's best friend.
You certainly have a cat-like energy to you, Miss Yoon Lee.
Let's move swiftly on to this version's second half
Sparkle
warp
también
event,
vuelve.
which boosts limited 5-star characters Zhao Chou and Masterful Sparkle. In addition, the drop rates for the limited 5-star light cones, those many springs, and Earthly Escapade will be boosted.
Another eye-opening moment for our fox friend.
Moments spent in the cool shade of an old tree should be used for admiring the surrounding scenery.
Couldn't agree more. And I almost forgot. The version 2.4 Warp Banner will feature a familiar face on the 4-star light cone. Poised to bloom.
She has the presence of a true swordmaster. Someone's been taking their training seriously.
Without further ado, let's take a closer look at the fruits of March 7th's journey as a Swordmaster apprentice.
esto un poco se vio en la
On
primera.
returning to the Xianzhou, March 7th is brimming with excitement for the upcoming war dance and decides to learn swordplay from Masters Yun Li and Yan Qing.
I still vividly remember instructing Yang Qing in the way of the sword. Now he's already passing on his knowledge to others. How time flies.
March 7th might be a rookie, but she's also a natural. Her master taught her the best in Juming swordplay. So, naturally, she's made quick progress.
Yan Qing is also March 7th's master. To deprive an inquiring mind of tuition is not in his nature.
Right you are, General.
I heard that March 7th was a bow and arrow user. Brave of her to take up the sword and
Eso
no doubt a
es
challenge for her master.
Imaginario.
I'll say. Not to mention, Yun Li and Yan Qing's swordplay isn't exactly similar. Won't March 7th end up with a weird mix of styles?
You're overthinking things. If you're dedicated to the sword, you just need to swing it.
Ah, follow the sword and victory will follow. Well, we've done a lot of talking. Time to see March 7th swordplay in action.
March 7th, the Hunt's basic attack deals imaginary damage. When using her skill, March 7th selects
Nice.
a teammate as master and presents them with a special beverage to increase their speed.
What a good apprentice.
As a promising young student, March 7th has a keen understanding of her master's style. When her master launches an attack or ultimate, March 7th acquires charges. When charges reach a set number of
A ver.
stacks, she immediately takes action again and obtains
O
an
sea que sería 5
enhanced basic
estrellas, la
attack.
verdad.
Her enhanced basic attack
Igual
deals
nos la
set
darán.
hits of damage to a target enemy,
Era como...
with a chance of dealing
Ok.
further hits.
Creo que igual nos la
Just a
regalarán con
chance?
el evento.
She's a rookie, remember? Her moves might be a little rusty, but they can surprise you all the same. Depending on her master's path, her specific attacks possess additional effects.
That's right. For example, masters on the paths of destruction, erudition, or the hunt can cause specific attacks to deal additional damage. And masters on the paths of nihility, harmony, preservation, or abundance can raise the toughness reduction of specific attacks.
Putting learning into practice. Where do I find an apprentice?
After using her ultimate, March 7th can deal damage to a target enemy while improving her next enhanced basic attack.
And for those who were wondering what having March as an apprentice is like, there you have it.
March 7th is humble and learns from all her allies. During exploration, for every time a teammate uses their technique, March 7th acquires a charge at the start of the next battle. When using her own technique, she regenerates energy at the start of the next battle.
It must be a great privilege to have an apprentice with such powers of perception.
Well, get this. Completing specific tasks in the version 2.4's Trailblaze Continuance will unlock March 7th the Hunt. Once unlocked, a path-switching option will appear in the character interface for this.
That's my apprentice.
She certainly does have the aura of a heroine.
Whew, I think we could all use a lie down. More exciting updates after the break.
Segundo código.
Welcome back, Trailblazers. It's time we took a look.
Ahora los
Version
eventos.
2.4 is all new events. As the war dance approaches, guests and visitors from all corners are converging on the
A ver, nos la darán.
Not all are harboring noble intentions. I'm sure all you remember a certain IPC representative by the name of Scott.
Oh, the Alliance is very familiar with the conduct and deeds of the
ver.
IPC.
Hardly
Nos
surprising.
lo darán.
Well, Scott is out to demonstrate that Xianzhou swordplay is no match for IPC tech. Ooh, not only does he have a mech-related provocation in store, but also
creo que
wants to
nos la
assert his
darán.
authority through battle.
For real? I think me and Old Metal owe this guy a beating. Or 10.
Hold your horses, Miss Yunli. As a matter of fact, your apprentice got a little impulsive and took up the challenge. She's due to face off against her opponent in just 15 days' time.
A familiar turn of events. Are we able to assist Miss March in this endeavor?
Of course. To help March defeat this IPC rotten egg, Trailblazers will take up the position of personal trainer. The goal? Develop a 15-day crash course in swordplay.
15 days? Crash course? Mr. Albert, have you heard the proverb, haste makes waste?
Have you heard the proverb, when needs must? Between me and Yan Qing, we've got the sword skills to provide the best crash course in town. Still, balance training also requires rest, relaxation, and fun.
The fabled work-life balance. Sounds like you've got it figured out, Miss Yunli. Results or your money back.
I have a feeling Miss March will have some fortuitous encounters and crucial assistance along the way.
Oh, I might just have to offer a helping hand myself.
The encounters and sword training experiences that March accumulates will dictate the nature of the story's conclusion. The end result will always be a solo confrontation with Scott, though the nature of the showdown will also vary accordingly.
Following the ending, Trailblazers can acquire Stellar Jade and March 7th, the Hunt's Eidolon.
With the combined assistance of her friends, surely Miss March will prevail over Scott.
Absolutely?
As long as a swordmaster is worthy of the sword in their hand, they have nothing to worry about.
Wise words indeed, Miss Yunli.
Oh.
Let's move on to another event. After leaving Penacony, I'm sure Trailblazers will remember with fondness their unpredictable old friends, the trash cans.
It would seem these old friends have appeared on the Xianzhou.
Appear they have. And a medical intern from Penacony is on the lookout for an assistant. Their goal? To complete a series of shoots to uncover the secrets of the Marastruck.
Wait, what? They're doing a trash can shoot?
You better believe it. The intern in question is Randolph. And just like the Trailblazers, they're a trash can enthusiast.
If you spend enough time in the cosmos, there's nobody you won't encounter. Trash can enthusiasts? Comes with the territory.
During the event, Trailblazers must use the photography software
Me gusta más los
provided by
eventos
Randolph
yo
to
por
take
mi esta
pictures
versión.
of trash
Pero poco que
cans
ando
hidden
de
among the
eventos y ahora
crowds.
sí, pero
Different trash
puedes verlos
cans
bien y
mean
yo
different
jugándolo.
points, with some trash cans even adopting special movements. Do your best to get them all on film to maximize your points and complete the stage objectives.
And a friendly reminder, trash cans may appear unexpectedly and without warning. Trailblazers wishing to catch them all will need their wits about them.
Now, this event isn't confined to the Xianzhou. Your old friends have also appeared in Belobog. Rumor has it that Belobog inhabitants have recently been attacked by a shadow of unknown origin. To resolve this case, our trash can friends need the strength of Trailblazers and Belobogians alike.
And that's the end of the trash can-related content for this version. Right?
Don't speak too soon. In the
Trash can.
Trailblaze Friendship is Magic event, Trailblazers need to use specific characters to play the role of magician and summon a special trash can comrade, Letter Pony, to fight alongside them.
Y
A
sacan a
trash
este
can
de
summoning
personaje jugable.
magician.
Os digo que vende un montón. Por el
Does
hecho,
this
por el meme.
sorcerer have any other notable abilities?
Of course! The magician's skill and ultimate will acquire all new combat effects with the power to command mini-cans during battle. The mini-cans' attack and talent abilities will depend on which character was used to summon them, adding further layers to the combat experience. For example, the skills of certain magicians summon mini-cans onto the battlefield up to a maximum of 5. The more mini-cans on the battlefield, the higher the attack and the more energy regenerated for the magician.
Classic trash warfare.
Well, get this. Some mini-cans can even enter an ultra gold state and receive extra buffs. And we've only scratched the surface. Trailblazers who wish to test the limits of magical trash can strength can do so in-game. The event will launch a new challenge stage daily, with 5 stages total and each stage split into 2 difficulties. After completing the Initiation Trial Challenge, Trailblazers can unlock the official trial difficulty for an even harder test.
See? See you on the battlefield, friends.
I need another breather. Don't go anywhere, Trailblazers. More exciting updates after the following broadcast.
A ver. Los eventos me los he saltado por ahí abajo. Y ahora el último código.
Welcome back, y'all.
A ver, y
As
vuelve
always,
esto. A ver,
in
se
version
suponía, se sabía que
2.4,
volvería
we'll be
esto.
seeing the return of 10 free warps in the Gifted Odyssey check-in event.
I was waiting for you to say that.
Some comforts are here to stay.
And of course, there's also the double events. Planar Fisher and Garden of Plenty.
Remember to complete the simulated universe or divergent universe for double planar ornaments.
And we haven't even got to this version's system optimizations yet, starting with the relic system. When using the filter function to screen relics already in your possession, filter choices can be saved for a faster selection process. Meanwhile, in the relic inventory, Trailblazers will find new quick lock and quick discard functions. When choosing relics for a character, relics will be sorted according to the character's relic set prioritization, with the most suitable relics appearing first. There's also a new feature for relic substat recommendations.
By using the recommended relics feature, not only can Trailblazers view a character's most frequently used relic set, but also the recommended main and subsidiary stats.
And finally, when checking Simulated Universe Interface and Cavern of Corrosion in the Interastral Peace Guide, Trailblazers can see recommended characters for the
Vale, esto
relics
se
in
podrá
question.
recomendar que hay artefactos recomendados son para los
To
personajes.
allow Trailblazers to come into faster contact with new versions, captivating events, and time-limited rewards, 2.4 has added an advanced access feature for both Trailblaze continuance and events.
So if a Trailblazer doesn't meet the prerequisite conditions for a given event, they can still experience the new version's events and missions?
You got it. Trailblazers who've reached level 21 will see a Play Now icon appear on the event page for events with advanced access eligibility. Just select the icon to join the experience.
Now that's an optimization. Ready and waiting.
Ooh.
In the mission catalog, missions with early access will feature a special icon. Maps yet to be unlocked will get temporary map teleportation access, while also featuring a special icon. Trailblazers can freely switch between the displays for the normal map and the temporary maps unlocked as a result of advanced access event activation.
And what if Trailblazers achieve the normal event activation requirements during the course of early access?
Good question. In that case, the event will terminate the advanced activation state and the temporary map channel will close. However, game data will be retained and Trailblazers can continue participating in gameplay as normal through the event screen.
Which is when I get my hands on the limited time event rewards.
In other news, in the not-too-distant future, a new episode of Knowing the Universe will be upon us. We've invited celebrated novelist Yoshiki Tanaka to be with us on the program. Together, we'll be exploring thoughts and imaginings on the subject of the boundless universe. A huge thank you to Mr. Tanaka for his participation. Man, I can't wait to see that episode. And finally,
No puede
intel
ser.
on a mysterious
No puede ser.
collaboration destined for launch in 2025.
No. Complete the stage. Complete the stage.
For more info,
Complete the stage.
stay tuned for official announcements, Trailblazers. Woo! That brings us to the end of the version 2.4 special program. Returning to the Cienjo, getting to know new Cienjo friends. You guys sure know how to get an old owl excited.
Will March be able to perfect her swordplay?
3 Cienjo generals in the same place at the
No
same
puede ser.
time.
No
Who
puede ser
knows
esa
what kind
cola.
of stories will unfold.
Let us all bear witness to the future of the Cienjo Luofu.
See you in the next one, Trailblazers.
Till next time.
See you next time.
No puede ser. Y nada. Esto ha sido todo. Muchas gracias y adiós.